Browsers come tap in. Browsers come tap in. Browsers come tap in, come tap in, come tap in. Bringing that substance straight to the public, no capping, no bluffing. Now run it up, buddy. Browsers come tap in. Come tap in, come tap in. Come tap in. Browsers come tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in. Yeah, tap in, man. What's good, y'all? What's good? On this episode, we're going to talk about the tariffs a little bit and see what both sides, the left and the right, got to say about it. And on the end, we're going to follow up and see what a man that specializes and knows a lot about these tariffs and see how he breaks it down in total, how we got up to the 245. So tap in, man. Let us know how y'all feel in the comments, man, if you agree or disagree. So let's go ahead and let's roll that first clip, Phil. Tap in.
President Trump is defending his 25% tariff on steel imports, claiming they're bringing trillions of dollars of businesses back to the U.S. This comes as the impacts of those tariffs are already being felt in places like Ohio, where many workers rely on the steel industry. Jason Carroll is out front.
I'm very optimistic, and I agree.
You're optimistic.
I am. I'm extremely optimistic.
Optimistic, not the word some might use to describe their outlook on the economy, given all the back and forth with tariffs. But here at Swanton Welding, just outside Toledo, Ohio, the company's owner, Norman Zeiter, says thanks to Trump's tariff tactics, he and his workers are feeling good about the future of the business, despite all the ups and downs on Wall Street.
Wall Street affects us to a certain extent, but not a lot.
Welders like Ethan Sanderson also feeling bullish, hoping all that is happening with tariffs will eventually mean more work and income for people like him, which cannot come soon enough, given he's about to be a new father.
Once everything gets sorted out, that it'll help us out in the long run.
Swanton is part of this community.
I'm glad he said that. It helps out in the long run. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people is not understanding in depth about these tariffs. You know what I'm saying? How they play an effect in the long run. Of course, they're hurting the market right now. And most people need to understand this as well. You know what I'm saying? If you're not invested in the stock market, you're not involved with these tariffs, ain't bothering you not one bit. And if it is, it's so minute that you're not even really feeling no after effect from it at all. So it should be very simple, you know what I'm saying, to understand that these tariffs is going to help Americans in the long-term run. I mean, that's just what it is. It's just going to be an advantage. And also, you starting to see an effect from it already. Some of these people this man right here that started a welding company, his grandfather did, right here in his hometown, and they've been running it for years. And now he's starting to see it's, you know what I'm saying, he's going to see an effect from this. His company going to grow. And that's what Trump was trying to do. He's trying to bring back jobs to America and stop sending everything out to China and everywhere else.
Since Zeiter's grandfather, a World War II veteran, started it back in 1956 with just $100 in his pocket. Maintaining it has been tough. The U.S. Steel and wide swaths of the manufacturing industry have been on the decline for decades due to factors such as declining demand and the inability to compete in global markets. Toledo once buzzed during the steel manufacturing heyday in the 1950s. Now, the unemployment rate is 6.6%, compared to the national average of 4.1%.
We're one of the last standing ones in this area.
Still standing and getting a boost from Trump's tactics.
Yeah, that reminds me of the steel mill that they had up here in Georgetown. It was like a real big thing back in the day. Everybody wanted to work there. They paid really good. And I remember when they closed the steel mill down there, it was like, it was a big problem with people, you know. Everybody was disappointed about that. And like he said, it was been a few decades, it's been a while. I'm wondering if this right here is going to cause that one to open back in Georgetown, because the plant is still there. It's just that, you know, it's not employing people like it used to back then.
And that's another thing that's going to also happen these with these job openings. Just like you said, that place is still there. All they're going to do is they're going to reopen it soon as these tariffs kick in and they get that deal done. and Trump start bringing back steel industries back to America, yeah, she's gonna start seeing a lot of these factories that's just sitting there. They're gonna get reopened. They ain't now some place they just gonna have to rebuild, and start from the ground up. So it's gonna take some time for those. But some of these places are ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They just got to be refurbished, touched up a little bit, modernized, and ready to go.
Yep.
Zeider says 5 international companies have already reached out to do business.
We had Italy, we had France, we had Great Britain. We had a Canadian company reach out to us.
You had a Canadian.
Yeah.
He says it's the first time in 70 years a Canadian company has called
70
wanting to
years.
work with them. Across town at Wurzel's bike shop, owner Jill Wurzel also has heard from an overseas distributor.
I just got that a few minutes ago before you came in, and I was reading it and I about had a heart attack.
Wurzel received an email from a Taiwanese company informing her if tariffs do go into effect, she may have to pay an increase of up to 79%.
That's a huge impact on a small business.
She buys from China, Taiwan, and Cambodia and worries how tariffs would impact cost to customers and her ability to maintain her staff.
What'd you say?
You see what and that's exactly why we don't need to be getting majority of our products from China, from anywhere over there, because once again, that is our biggest. They're not even our allies. So why are we getting majority of our products from a place that's not even our allies? Now I can see if this was coming from Canada or coming from, Great Britain. No, this is coming from China, and that's why her prices is about to go up. So that's more of a reason why we need to have more American-made thing. And matter of fact, I think the brand that she sold in there as well is an American. Well, it used to be, it's American-made company, and they moved overseas. You see what I'm saying? That's why Trump's trying to bring these jobs back. All of these companies left.
Yeah,
long time ago, back when Bill Clinton in his era and before, they've been leaving little by little.
Yep.
And this is the reason why they go over there for that cheap labor and then send it back over here, because America is your biggest consumers. That's the reason why we hold the most authority. That's why China needs us and we don't really need China. Technically we do need China, because we didn't got to a point where that's where majority of our stuff comes from. And Trump he's changing that. So you got to understand the long-term effect of this. It's going to bring us back to being dependent on ourselves. Brings more job opportunities. And like you said, the steel workers, man, they get paid.
Yeah, good
so
too.
Why in the world we wouldn't want to have that type of company inside of America that pays good? A high-paying job. Yeah, you got to work a little. Yeah, it's going to come a little bit of labor, but hey,
yeah,
that's what it is. We got to stop being lazy, man. Sometimes hard work comes with, it comes with good pay too. Best believe it, because it's hard to find people that actually work. It's hard to find a good worker, but when they find one, they pay you good. Trust me, I'm a living witness to it. They will pay you good if you are a good worker.
Yeah.
Payroll would be reduced and somebody might lose their job, or a full-time person will be part-time.
The Wurzel family has been in the bike business for 80 years, since her grandfather founded it in 1945. The threat of tariffs now a concern for a new generation of employees. Wurzel's nephew and his wife just quit their jobs a few weeks ago to join the family business.
We're a little bit nervous, but we trust in Jill. We know that she knows this business really well.
Back at Swanton Welding, also a new generation, one hoping Trump's tactics will benefit their industry. Allison Fagerman is an 18-year-old welder who works with her father.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, family businesses too.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
They get ready to benefit from it. Exactly. So I'm even surprised that CNN actually even posted. I mean, even reported that part of it. That's actually showing the good out of the tariff.
Yeah.
CNN is more of a left-leaning network, so I'm surprised that they even showed that. But hey, hats off to them.
Husband and wife quit their job to go work with the family business. They see it.
So yeah. I mean, because that Swin that's a good brand, man. That ain't no, like you said, they've been in business for 80 years. That's a good. Well, it used to be a good brand. I don't know about now. I don't really ride. I got a bicycle in the garage. It ain't a Swin, but yeah, I'm not too hip on the brands now. But
Yeah.
it used to be a good brand.
Shit, all I know is BMX and Huffy.
Hey, let's pull up the war with Trump, man. Let's pull up Trump and see what Trump talking about.
All right.
Because they working on the deal. Also, did you know China? They actually, I think they're replacing their negotiator.
Nah, I ain't heard nothing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I got in so late, man. I was going to also give you that as well. It's not official. I'm not sure. That's allegedly. You know what I'm saying. It's not confirmed, but I think that's what they're actually doing or already have done.
Are you talking about the person that's negotiating the tariffs with Trump?
Yeah. No. I don't think he's actually negotiating with Trump. He's negotiating with Trump's administration.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you know, Trump's in the background, like, you know, hey, this is what we're going for. And this is the only thing we're accepting. If it ain't this, no deal. So, you know what I'm saying? But someone else is talking, sure. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they need to translate.
Yeah.
Directly to President Xi?
I don't want to say that. It's just not appropriate.
But you're speaking, sorry, has he called you directly, President Xi, or reached out to try to facilitate a conversation?
Well, you'd think it was pretty obvious that he has, but we will talk about that soon. It's not that important because honestly, we're going to have a deal. I believe we're going to have a deal with China. And if we don't, we're going to have a deal anyway because we're going to set a certain target and that's going to be it.
So you hear it there, President.
It's going to be deal or deal. That's what he just said. It's going to be a deal or it's going to be a deal. Yeah, that's what's up, man. I'm glad he's standing on business because let me tell you something, man. Hey, y'all can call out all the Trump's failures all you want to, but let me tell you something. Even some of your smartest scientists failed thousands of times. Let me tell you, that's some of your most best experience. And overall, I'm pretty sure his net worth shows his wins outweighs his losses, and the man understands business. So I think we should chill out, sit back, and see how it plays out. The market is always moving up and down anyway. And again, if you ain't invested in the market, you ain't seeing nothing, no loss anyway. All you doing is just seeing the news report stuff and saying how some of these, the people that are invested are kind of losing. But they lose on, they don't tell you that. You lose in the market on a regular basis. Maybe not lose every day, but you're gonna definitely lose. If you're invested in the market, you're gonna lose some for sure. Whether you little man or big dog.
Yeah, I was just looking at my little portfolio today, just sitting there watching the ticker go up and down, back and forth.
Yeah, you got to play it out. This is a long-term game. This ain't no turnaround in 24 to 48 hours. That is not how the market works.
Yep.
And Trump touting progress in China trade talks. Trump says most of his tariff deals could be reached within the next month or so. So could this mean finally an end to the back and forth with Beijing? Grady Trimble from Fox Business is live at the White House with the latest on this. Hi, Grady.
Hey, Bill, if President Trump gets his way, some of these deals could be closed sooner than some people might think. He says in the next 3 to 4 weeks. You heard him there. He's even optimistic about a potential agreement with China coming down the pike in the not too distant future. As you heard, he wouldn't say whether he's been speaking directly with President Xi of China, but he says he's been speaking with top officials in Beijing, which he views as one and the same. We do know he met yesterday with the Prime Minister of Italy, Giorgia Meloni. He says that meeting was fantastic and thinks the U.S. can reach a broader trade agreement with the European Union before the 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs expires.
Oh, there'll be a trade deal, 100%. Oh, well, you think there won't be? Of course there'll be a trade deal. Very much. They want to make one very, very much. And we're going to make a trade deal. I fully expect it. But it'll be a fair deal.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent.
Yeah, still sound confident, yeah.
It's going to be a fair deal. That's the only way that's the only way it's going down. In order to look strong, that's the only way you got to. That's the only way you got to be. And then you also got to remember too the culture that he's dealing with. You know, the Chinese, but if they feel any type of disrespect, you know, they big on respect. Even though, you know what I'm saying, our culture is different. It might not be no disrespect on our side, but the way they might see it as some disrespect, and they just like that's kind of why I see, you know what I'm saying, them not budging yet. Like, we want some respect. Only way we gonna have a deal. You can throw all the tariffs on us all you want to, but we ain't gonna have no deal unless you come with some respect. Like, man, look here, we know what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? But look here, you been getting over on us for years. I think the respect is going out the window, my brother. We need to talk deal or deal. There ain't no deal or no deal. It's either a deal or deal. What you doing?
Yeah.
I've been disrespecting us for decades. Now, this ain't nothing that just started when I got into the administration, when I got into the White House, speaking on like Trump. Nah, y'all been doing this, man. You was doing it in the first term. Nah, we're gonna get this right now.
Yeah, Trump sounded like he got him ready to bend. He said they're willing to, they're ready to do something. So
yeah, because he hit the pause button on they ports, and they, man, you don't see all them containers just sitting there ready to go. What if that dude, I don't even know what they call it. What's his name, Gene or something? I call him the Mr. Roman numerals. That's his numbers spelled in Roman numerals. Like I want to call him 6. That's what it. I mean 11. My bad. That's 11. Call him 11. Now let me stop. But yeah, they're not budging, Trump, and I'm glad he's not budging, because you know what I'm saying. Once again, they've been getting over for a long time, and it's more than just tariffs. People don't understand. What's his name? Kevin. Dang, I can't remember. I'm terrible remembering names. Man, he was talking about how they've been getting over on us. They've been stealing patents. They take your design, copycat it, and then sell it for, you know what I'm saying, a fraction of the cost. I see lately they've been talking about the 245% tariffs. And go back out. Back small screen. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Take it out of full screen so we can see the name, my man's name here. Yeah, this is CBC News. I thought his name was going to show up, but you know what I'm saying? He gives you a pretty good general breakdown of how it accumulates up to 245%. It ain't just a single tariff where it's just 245% tariff. It's actually a multitude of tariffs that, you know what I'm saying, accumulates up to 245. You can run it.
The number is so outrageous, it's very hard to believe, because numbers this high just start to lose all meaning.
245% tariffs on Chinese imports.
Because escalating U.S. tariffs from 10% to 20%, then to 54%, then to 104%, then to 145%, and now presumably to 245%. That's, for all intents and purposes, only a few steps away from declaring infinity tariffs, to which the only rational reply is to say, oh yeah? Well, then we're tariffing you infinity plus 1. But even a mind-boggling 245% tariff on Chinese goods, if true, it would mean more than tripling the cost on everything that comes into the United States from China, which, for businesses who might spend months or years building reliable supply chains, would represent a seismic overnight shift. So you can understand the fear factor here. And considering the U.S. bought close to $500 billion worth of Chinese goods last year, well, that's a major line item that just got a whole lot bigger, right? But it's not entirely true. Don't get me wrong, 245% is a real tariff applied by the U.S. on China, just not in the way people thought. We can trace the confusion back to a White House fact sheet published on April 15th that was actually primarily about critical minerals and firming up the U.S. supply chain. But buried down near the bottom, a nod to Liberation Day tariffs that spurred more than 75 countries to reach out to discuss new trade deals. It goes on, except for China, which retaliated, before noting, for the first time I've ever seen, that China now faces up to a 245% tariff on imports to the United States as a result of its retaliatory actions. A tariff this high would make trade with China very difficult.
It would be more than enough over.
You see the ports. You see the ports over there in China. You see all those containers, man. You see how that port is loaded. Our ports don't look like that, man. They got business. They got business booming over there.
Yeah, I was trying to get back to it, but yeah, I saw the brief little clip on it. Yeah.
I ain't gonna say hundreds. That thing looked like thousands of containers, man, because their trade is enormous, man. And we don't got our stuff. We got stuff coming in. We don't got that much. We got stuff going out, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not balanced. And that's what Trump was trying to fix, man. He's trying to make this country great again by us making money as a whole. You know, when your country is able to make money as a whole like that, guess what? Your citizens aren't being taxed on every little thing. At this point, man, inflation was getting so bad with the last administration, we was going to start getting taxed to breathe around here, man. The economy was going in a terrible way, and if Kamala Harris would have got in there, yeah, we probably would. Man, what? Man, I still feel some type of way that we pay for water, and this planet is 90% water, and we pay for water, man. But I mean, it is what it is. But this we gotta make this economy back booming like it was before. Making steel, you know what I'm saying? Making steel, aluminum, car manufacturers. Detroit was booming at one point in time. Pittsburgh. I mean, the list goes on. Them just the main ones that I can throw off the top of my head that you definitely know about. Ford, where the Ford began at. It's crazy, man. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep it rolling up.
For time to pretty much bring trade to a halt.
But as debilitating a move a 245% tariff on Chinese goods would be, it fits into a pattern, right?
Imposing punishing tariffs on Canada, China, and Mexico.
China retaliated immediately, a 15% tax on U.S. coal, 10% on U.S. crude oil.
A 34% tax on imports from China.
34% that takes effect on all U.S. goods.
Additional 50% retaliatory tariff on China.
Retaliatory tariffs of 84%.
Tariffs on China to 145%.
Tariffs on American goods to 125%.
In this protracted back and forth, China would have the final word, hitting back with that 125% tariff, but also issuing a statement. Even if the U.S. continues to impose even higher tariffs, it would no longer have any economic significance and would go down as a joke in the history of world economics. If the U.S. continues to play a numbers game with tariffs, China will not respond, which was understandable because never mind 245, even at 145 or 125 or even 50% tariffs, the vast majority of companies out there aren't making any profit.
Well, there is no profit margin. It's just impossible because your price becomes so much higher than the prices of your competitors or the price that a consumer is willing to pay. Tariffs under 50% will tend to squeeze profit margins. Tariffs above 50% will tend to end all trade.
But despite the vague and provocative use of 245% in the White House fact sheet, there are some very important words that are easy to miss. China now faces up to a 245% tariff.
The first Trump administration was defined in some ways by the trade war with China.
This is adding to tariffs that were there during the first administration that were largely kept by the Biden administration and have been notched up a couple times under the current Trump administration.
So these aren't the first tariffs China's facing?
Yes, the 245% referenced in the White House fact sheet. That's not a new tariff. It's simply the highest tariff within an enormous range of tariffs that have been high for a long time. For example, toys, they're tariffed at 145%. Children's books, they're actually tariffed at 0%. And smartphones, among a very lucrative class of items, recently granted an exemption, they're tariffed at 20% right now. But at the extreme end of the spectrum, there are two classes of goods facing a 245% tariff, which is because of a mix of old and new tariffs: syringes and electric vehicles.
The U.S. basically wanted to close off its market to Chinese electric vehicles to
I
allow
think
more
Biden
space for
did the
domestic.
syringes.
Huh?
If I ain't mistaken, I think Biden is the reason for the syringes because of the pandemic. So in other words, what I'm saying is China is not new to receiving these tariffs from us, man. This is, I don't know why it's getting blown out of proportion now. I guess because people are actually paying attention to Trump so doggone much. But this stuff, they've been hitting China with tariffs. They just said it earlier that Biden, actually kept some of the tariffs that Trump did from his first term. And then Trump came back and amped them up some more. So, I mean, this technically ain't even what's going on right now. Ain't nothing new. Just for some reason.
It's just higher.
You know what I'm saying? It's just everybody got this Trump syndrome and everybody's just paying attention to everything this man doing now. So now it's like everything is blown out of proportion. And not giving it time to work or to see if it's going to work or not work. You're just deeming it not, the left is the one that's majority saying it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But yet you got people that's got their own family-oriented businesses built up through the community is getting calls from overseas.
What kind of raw material are we getting from China? If any.
I think, shoot, man, I don't know specifically, but we get a lot, bro. I know they're definitely dealing with the chips. That's the reason why they make a lot of the phones. Right off the top, I can't think right off the top of my head, but they get actually a lot. That's why Trump did it the first term on the critical minerals. Same thing with Ukraine.
Shit, I'm thinking if say for instance for whatever reason they don't make a deal and Trump don't enforce what he's saying is going to happen if they don't do it, is it possible just to deal directly with China, like consumer to China, business owners to China, everybody buy straight from China?
But you're still gonna have to pay the taxes. See, that's one of the things people don't understand how China do business. They real. I don't want to say money hungry, but yeah, they tax. They been tariff, but they tariffs is outrageous on everybody, man. You cannot go over there. Matter of fact, you can't even start a business over there without giving them some type of ownership over the business within the business, and you have to share all company secrets to them as well. I cannot remember. It's Kevin O'Leary or Kevin O'Leary. I'm probably butchering his last name.
O'Leary.
O'Leary, bro. He was breaking it down. He was breaking it down on CNN. He was like, man, yeah, you have to give them 50%. It has to be 50-50 ownership when you start any business over there. And then they take your patents, like I said, and do and make it on a lower budget and then sell it back. They stealing information. They some crooks, bro. When it comes to business, they some crooks. So you can try and deal with them directly, but you're still getting hit because you got to go through customs, right? You're getting hit with them tariffs, period. Ain't no trying to see now. You sound like you're just trying to work around Trump. It ain't. It ain't Trump. It looks like Trump's causing the problem, but China's been causing the problem. Trump just bringing it to the forefront, and he's standing on business. That's why I said that they just explained how this ain't nothing new. China getting hit with these tariffs is nothing new. They've been getting hit like this. Like I said, now it's just being brought to the forefront by Trump. And there's so many people out there that hate Trump that's just escalating it, making it even worse than it needs to be. When they actually need to be pointing their fingers at China, I'm like, yeah, see, we been knew y'all been doing some crooked stuff. Look at all your apps now where you got the TikTok shop, you got the Temu shop, Netflix just running everything. Like most of your big venues is ran by who? Owned by who? In America. Come on now. The biggest, one of the most wealthiest banks in New York is what? One of the wealthiest. It's Bank of China.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
So we in America talking about some of the most wealthiest businesses is ran from another country in America. And we got a problem with these tariffs against China. Come on now. You can't be America first and being against these tariffs. You can't be.
Yep. I'm rocking with the chief man in charge. He calling it. Even if no, I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, if he's calling it, I'm feeling it. Behind him 100%. Yeah.
Let the man cook.
Yeah, let him do his do.
He ain't did nothing but put the seasoning out. Y'all already worrying about what the meal gonna be. Man, let him cook first. You know, season it. Let him cook now. Come on, man.
Yeah, let's see the outcome.
But yeah, let's go ahead and keep it rolling. Let it play out.
Electric vehicle industry to take hold. Syringes are a little different. It turned out that in the pandemic, a shortage of syringes kept the U.S. from vaccinating as fast as it otherwise could.
So did Trump just levy a 245% tariff on China? No. And in fact, it's the Biden administration that increased certain tariffs on China that Trump has since added to. The point is, 145% is the right number when you count new broad-based tariffs on China applied during Trump's second term. Anything higher than that takes a longer trade history into account and is very much product specific. But does it even matter? Tariffs anywhere near this high all have the same effect, and that is to all but erase the benefits of trade, period. Trump's position is that China needs to make this right.
Hundreds of billions of dollars a year they're making us on trade. I have great respect for China, but they can't do this.
The ball is in China's court. China needs to make a deal with us. We don't have to make a deal with them.
And though anything is possible with Trump, this doesn't appear to be a fight he wants to be seen losing.
Trump don't like to lose. Trump don't like to lose now. He not a man. He not a man that like to take losses, and that's the type of leader that you need. Someone that's going to stand on business, and he's going to stand strong, and he's going to always go for the win. That's what you need. You don't need someone that's sitting out here in these major meetings, signing deals, and falling asleep at the table as he with the auto pen. Man, get the auto pen out, Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, I can get it.
And the Biden administration was already, like I said, he man just out there and explained it to you. The Biden administration had already had tariffs. Trump just put steroids on it. He juiced it up.
Yeah.
But boy, it's Trump's fault though, huh? Man, once you start really analyzing the information and seeing like where it began, you'll start to see like the man ain't really started a lot of the stuff that's going on. He's just finding out the information. Like, oh, okay, let me add on to it then. Since they don't want to act right, and they getting hundreds of billions of dollars off of Americans. You can making that much, man. That goes to tell you how much we don't need to be doing too much business with them. You making this much of a profit off of me, and you can't cut no kind of deal with me. That's like me and you in business right now. You making that type of money off, you making that type of profit, and I'm like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Times a little tough. I got a $36 trillion deficit that I'm trying to work out over here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, work with me. You know what I'm saying? You still gonna make your profit. You know what I'm saying? Just let a brother eat too. Nah. Bro, I don't know if I need to be doing any business with you anymore. You making hundreds of billions of dollars off of me, and you can't work no deal where you still make.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that ain't like Trump's. All right, you making 400 billion off of me. I'm gonna cut that down to 20 mil. Whoa, yeah, that's a major cut. Even though 20 million, you still making a $20 million profit, but we speaking on a country standpoint, bro. No, he ain't talking in them type of numbers. So it's gonna be a deal or deal, like he said. And like what's her name? Caroline Levitt. They needed to cut a deal with us. We ain't got to cut no deal with them.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like you making that much money off of us, yeah. That shows you how much power we got. Because guess what, bro? We can go digging in your pockets.
Yeah. Can't see no pushback on that. Not from that perspective.
Not from hundreds of billions. Oh no, boy, you better what? Get your money to play with. You gonna be out there talking like Kanye. Wait till I get my money right. They start playing with them pockets over there. He's already doing it. That's why them people. That's why all them TikTok videos are coming out. They exposing. Now y'all over there paying $400 for 75-cent shoes. They just telling everything. Like, yeah, all right.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm just wondering how people are gonna forget that when things start to get back to business as usual.
Bruh.
I know I'm not gonna be able to unsee it.
Yeah, because you got a different thinking process. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, but they gonna hold dear to that. Because man, they could have sworn that they was on a whole nother level. They had a whole nother fabric up under them feet. Didn't know them things with some some Dollar Tree specials. Anything, everything for $1, 75 cents. Well, you could have got you some Gucci's. Some people gonna hold on to that even when the economy go to boom, but it won't last long. They're gonna hold on to it for a little while, but as soon as that money get to rolling, they gonna be like, man, they gonna go buy some more. And then talk junk to themselves. Man, I know these shoes it cost this much, but they look good.
Yeah.
They look good. So I know I got to be fresh out here.
Pay for the status.
Yeah. Shit.
All right, shit. Y'all enjoy it. I ain't forgetting.
Well, I'm gonna forget because I ain't never been buying that stuff anyway. Like I said, man, my whole entire lifespan, bro, I've bought one Gucci outfit. I've never cared about no Amari, none of them. Louis Vuitton. Oh, let me take that back. I did get a Louis Vuitton bag, and I never even used it. It was always in my closet, and I gave it to my son. So, like, nah, bro, none of that stuff. I don't. Other than them two things, bro, I've never cared about them at all.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's not going to affect me anyway because either way, because like you said, shit, I was never into really buying them like that anyway.
Bro, them bags don't matter, bro. It don't matter if it's an Adidas bag, a Louis Vuitton bag. A bag is a bag. It's gonna carry the stuff I need to be carried. I don't care how good it looks. Guess what? All I'm doing is carrying it from point A to point B, and then it's gonna be in the bedroom somewhere. It ain't like you walking around with it on you 24/7. So some dudes do now. They walk around with it strapped across their chest. All right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That rocks your boat. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's for them dudes. I'm good, man. I got everything I need that fits in my wallet that can go in my back pocket.
Yep.
I got jeans, you know what I'm saying? They got 4 pockets on it. I don't need to put a whole bag on my chest. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely, some dudes do it to carry cash around with. That's another mistake, to be carrying that cash around like that. I'm not carrying that type of cash around. What I need to carry that type of cash around on me for?
Yeah, especially these days.
No, yeah, exactly. Shouldn't nobody be doing that. Whether you're a rapper, singer, construction worker, dope boy, you shouldn't be carrying that cash around on you. Not carrying it around on you anyway.
Yeah, pocket full of cash, Gucci down, diamonds and gold.
So yeah, man, these tariffs, man, we're gonna see how they play out, man. Like I said, you gotta wait and see on it. It's a long-term game, man. You can't expect stuff to happen overnight, and it's only been 2 weeks because they started on April 2nd. And what's today? The 18th, 19th?
20th.
20th. You know what I'm saying? It's only been 18 days, man.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Hey, let's see what the man rocking with. You know what I'm saying? Tap on in and let us know how y'all feel in the comments, man. Do you agree or disagree?
Yes, sir. We out.
Brothers come tap in. Brothers come tap in. Brothers come tap in, come tap in, come tap in. Bringing that substance straight to the public. No capping, no bluffing. Not right.